Most Americans tip 15% or less. Okay, or less. All right, let me go to this. That's pretty crazy. And some tipping. This is a CNBC story. Pew Research surveys 11,945 Americans, found that 18% of people tip less than 15% for an average meal at a sit-down restaurant, and an additional 2% tip nothing at all. That means one out of 50 people in America that go to dinner don't tip anything at all. Meanwhile, 37% said 15% is their standard tip, revealing a lack of consensus on tipping etiquette. Despite the tradition of tipping 15 to 20% for sit-down restaurant service, the survey found that more than half of people, 57%, tip 15% or less. This indicates that tipping norms vary widely amongst Americans. Studies suggest that tip fatigue has led to declining tip amounts in recent times, with the average nationwide tip at full-service restaurants falling to 19.4% in the second quarter of 2023. Tom has a story here. Tom, I want to go to you first. Go for it. What happened to you this last week at this restaurant called Capitol Grill, which I think is out of Boca, if I'm not mistaken?
That's correct.
Go for it. Nothing to do with Capitol Grill, Steve, that we love in Crescent in Dallas, who crushes it. He's amazing. One of the best servers in the world.
Exactly.
He's one of the GOATs. Go ahead, Tom.
So first of all, the people at a restaurant are not robots. Every location is different. And God bless you, Steve. We love you. Down there at, if you go down by the Crescent in Dallas and you go to Capitol Grill and you ask for Steve, you are not going to get bad service. But unfortunately, so Brooker gets straight A's and she's doing really well. I say, hey, Brooker, let's go to dinner. And we sit down and she gets a Shirley Temple and we're going to have this. And we were just freaking ignored. You know, the step one, you know, the hostess wants to put it at this table that they had put up for a Saturday, and it's right next to doors. You know what I'm talking about, Pat? You have the same reaction I do. It's like, come on, that table isn't even there Monday through Friday. Well, respectfully, I'm not sitting there. When we sat down, they come up and they're quick. When they didn't come check on us, you know, normally you go to a good place, you order steak, and that's what we had. You cut into it once, and a lot of times at Ruth Chris, they say, "Will you please cut into your steak? Is that exactly the way you want it?" You know what I'm talking about?
I love that.
And they always do that. Is that exactly the way you want it? Thank you so much. And they check on the spot. They drop it down, and I want to get a refill for Brooke Shirley Temple. And the lady walks away, excuse me. I feel like I'm hollering at her walking down the hall. And so I got the hostess who sat at the other table and said, could you help me here? You know, and I said to her, the aliens that have taken our server, can you let them know that Brooke would like a refill for Shirley Temple? And she goes, what? And I said, can we do this? And it's stacked up. And I was very frustrated and disappointed. And I'm like, and my steak was cooked wrong. And so I don't
son of a bitch.
And so I don't even get the opportunity there. And so I finally I said to Brooker, Brooker, we're going to go someplace else for dessert. And there was just an assortment of things. So, you know, I flagged the server down and I said, I'd like to pack up to go, please. And I handed her my card. And she's like, what? And I left a note on there. And I said, you know what? You know, I put a little note on there, no profanity, with a 0 tip. And went down the street to Abe and Louie's. Walked in, said to the hostess, do you have a table for 2 for dessert? And now this is like 8:30. She said, we sure do. And I said, we came from another place. I did not tell him it was Capitol Grill. I said, we came from another place. And my daughter got straight A's. And I just want her treated royalty. And dessert was supposed to be part of it. And she said, no problem. I'm taking you to Charlie. And Charlie treated Brooke like he was her long-lost uncle. She wanted hot tea. He came over and he opened the box of tea slowly, just demonstrating service. And you know what I did to Charlie? I made his frickin' night. And I thanked him profusely for making Brooke feel like $1 million, which is all I wanted. But my normal tip, I'm 20% baseline. And if I get really good service, I'll go 25, 30. I normally am there to encourage and appreciate great service.
You're a good tipper. If Tom comes, you're going to get a good tip from him. So you ended up tipping him how much?
I gave Charlie $200.
$200 for how much was the bill?
$40 for two desserts and teas. And
so he got 400%, 500% tip is what he got. That's really what it is if you think about it. Okay. So let me tell you what happens with me. I go to Louis Bossi. Remember how we used to go to Louis Bossi in Boca all the time?
And
they treated us royally. It was freaking awesome. I don't recognize anybody there. We went there with the family the other day, and I asked to sit at the corner table. The hostess just turns her back against me, doesn't say anything. I'm like, oh, okay. Maybe these guys are crazy busy. They were not. Finally, we come back. Jennifer comes in with the kids. I said, we'd like to get a table in the corner. They take us to the table in the corner. Waitress comes in saying, is it water for everybody? And we said, yes. And I said, is there any way you can lower the AC temperature here? It's very, very cold. Maybe turn it off. Nope.
Just with a nope?
I swear to God, because that's the word the kids have been joking around about the entire weekend.
Nope.
This lady's in her mid-40s. You're talking to a grown man. She says, nope. I said, I'm sorry? I said, babe, let's get out of here.
I love
Half a second, we got up. She said, no, I'm sorry. I said, no, ma'am, you don't talk to a grown man like this. No, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean that. I said, no, you'll never see me here ever again. By the way, Tom, how many times have you seen me go to a restaurant? I'll never come back here never again. You'll never see me there ever again. I can tell you, you've personally experienced this with me.
But it's only a few, because you know what we do? We give people what's called patronage, and we keep coming back for lunch. And they always, Louis Bossi, we used to have all these people.
It was the best.
It was the best. And
how many times a week would we go to Louis Bossi? Honestly, Adam, if you were to
8 days a week. I mean, you ate there all the time.
Honestly, now say, if you and I, for the year that we worked at Boca, how many times did you and I go to Louis Bossi together with people?
How many times collectively?
Total in a year.
Yeah,
how many
we probably ate there at least 50 times.
50 times at least. That's crazy.
Exactly.
But that's just with him.
That's just
that doesn't mean with other people. We were always at Louis Bossi.
Pat, my God. You were cheating on me with other people for lunch?
What'd you say, you son
So check this out. So we get up, and the kids are like, okay, they've seen this before. So like, okay, all right, so what are we going to next? And we start looking. Everybody's hungry. So we're driving around. We said, okay. I'm explaining to the kids. Says, Daddy, what just happened? Why did that lady say nope?
Yeah.
I said, okay. I said, number one, you don't talk to customers like that. However, when I was younger, I was coming up, I wanted very, very good respect and service everywhere I went. But guess what? I haven't deserved it. Who the hell are you to give you the great respect? You go to Chipotle, bro, you're spending $10. We're not giving you great service. Yeah. You're going to get what you're getting for the money. Now, restaurants like Chick-fil-A, which
and free food poisoning at Chipotle.
The data you'll give here in a minute with Chick-fil-A, which is very important to realize, most restaurants, go to any McDonald's on Yelp. Look at the reviews. 1.5, 1, 1.5, 1.5, 1.5. It's all 1.5, 1.5, 1. Why? Because you're spending $5, $10, $15, $20, right? I said, if you go to a regular restaurant where the bill is going to be 20, look at that, 1.5, 1.3. I'm telling you.
What the hell you want?
Okay, so
this motherfucker want food apparently. Oh, you want it to be hot too?
So watch this.
This guy thinks he needs hot food in his life.
I said, if you go to a restaurant, I'm telling Dylan and Tico this. I'm telling Tico and Dylan this. I said, if you go to a restaurant where the bill is not high, but they give you great service, you got to take care of them.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay.
So, anyways, we go to Seasons 52. I'm parking a car. These guys go
nice
inside
restaurant.
first.
Where is this?
It's not a nice restaurant. The ticket is like.
Where's that? That's it.
Seasons 52 is a Capitol Grill.
Yeah, you're right. It's
high end.
I would say it's a level below Capitol Grill. I would actually put Capitol Grills, and the way I'm saying below is bill. The money you're going to spend at Capitol Grill is going to be 2 times the amount of money you're going to spend at Seasons 52.
Oh, wow.
2 times?
2 times, yeah.
Oh, really?
Damn.
Yeah, so anyway, we go to Seasons 52, and I'm parking a car. Me and Dylan are walking in. I finally find them. I come inside, and Jennifer's like, babe, the waiter's name is Michael. And we're all watching this guy, and in the car, everyone's talking about we're going to experience what the waiter's going to be like. Michael's like, hey, how are you? Listen, great to have you guys here. What can I get you? Mom, what would you like? Dad, what can I get you? This guy crushes it, and I keep asking him, 0 to 10 guys, Daddy, this guy's good. He's not said nope one time.
That's so funny.
Is that him right there?
That's him right there. So
shout out to Mike.
The food, the bill comes at the end. Michael's been fantastic. So we bill him, we tip him 100%. So I'm talking to the kids, what do you think we should tip him? Should we tip him the 25%? No, we should tip him more. 30%? No. How about we do 40%? I said, how about we do 100%? We're going to do 100%. I said, but here's what we're going to do. We're going to do 100%, and you're going to walk up to him, and you're going to give him the check with the 100% tip and tell him how we as a family, the David family, values great service when you go above and beyond, and you did that, and we value that so much.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing this. They walk up to him, they give him the tip, and they explain to him what it is. This grown man is listening to Tico, giving him the tip. He's got emotion. He's emotional.
That's so awesome.
And we take a picture. He says, you guys want to take a picture? I want to take I said, no, bro, we want to take a picture with you.
Yeah.
Michael, Seasons 52. If you guys are in the Boca area, you go there, ask for him. An absolute stud of a freaking guy when it comes down to service. You were phenomenal without even knowing. We didn't even tell him we're coming from a bad experience.
Oh, really?
I just wanted the kids to know, because sometimes when that's the case, you go above and beyond.
Of course.
I just wanted to see what he was going to do. He freaking crushed it. So to the people out there that are tipping 2%, the 2% that tips less than 15%, the 2% that tips nothing, and the people that tip 15%, I will tell you, some people deserve 0 tip. Mm-hmm. Their customer service sucks. They think you owe them something.
Yeah.
But some people deserve 100% tip. When you meet somebody that's great, show up. When you meet somebody that brings the refill way before you even think about it, show up. When you find somebody that asks you, doesn't use short words, isn't quick with you. So we role played. What's the proper answer? Dylan says, so what should the answer be? I said, let's role play. We're at the restaurant, we're role playing. I said, okay, tell me what I asked the waitress. Is there any way to lower, the temperature because it's very cold here, or maybe turn off the AC? And so Dylan says, nope. I said, no, that's not what you're saying. And then Tico says, yes, let me see what I can do. I'll get back to you. Then Senna says, I don't know if we can do anything, but I'm going to find a way. Then Dylan says, the AC in this corner control is the entire restaurant, but maybe we can seat you somewhere else if you're okay. That's warmer.
Smart.
I said, that's all you have to say.
That's it.
You don't have to say, nope. There's a freaking nope.
The PE is just the shittiest.
Oh, my
nope. Like, that's like,
That's
Anyway.
way worse than
By the
no.
way, do you see that kitchen straight down the aisle behind him?
Is that Jose in the back?
No.
Oh, I thought you were going to
That
say.
building, Season 52 on Glades Road at Business Center Drive. In 1984 is when that building was built. The reason I know that is I worked in that kitchen.
Tom, be quiet.
The restaurant was called the Cork and Cleaver.
Are you serious?
And it was an original steakhouse in Boca. And when that was built brand new,
What'd you do for them, Tom?
that
Tom, that's your old stomping ground.
the restaurant, yeah.
Were you a cook? Were you a chef?
Cleaver.
Were you a...
I was the chef's assistant.
Really?
that's-
You're sous chef?
Shit.
Well, for a steakhouse, yes, I was a sous chef, but in a steakhouse, and that's not a complicated job.
This is. Do you know what the reputation was of this place? Customers would leave super happy. After 6 years of investigation, they realized the chef would put a little bit of edible weed back in the days, 80s, into the meal.
Wow.
Freaking nonstop.
Everybody's just happy and hungry.
Yeah. Well, back then there was no Twitter, but Tom was a big part of it, contributing.
Good job,
factor.
Tom.
I just want to add one thing. It all kind of makes sense to you because everything that you're basically saying about your family experience, I've lived this with all the restaurants that I've dined with you, whether it was Yard House in Dallas. Shout out to our boy Jason. He made the perfect
man.
Arnold Palmer.
I love that.
And then we would
I miss
always
Jason.
eat at this amazing French restaurant, Toulouse.
Martine.
Yeah.
Martine.
Pat is a loyal guy. If you treat him right, he will come
was
back.
so good to
and we
us.
go, and then, I mean, obviously here in Fort Lauderdale, our relationship with Casa D'Angelo,
Amazing.
everything with that. Even on your
Natasha's the
birthday
bomb.
when we were in Prime 112 in Miami and the waiter, and he gave back, he paid half the bill. Like,
That's
Pat
so great.
values service, and it all like sort of coalesces with everything that's happened with Will. How do you say his last
Gadara.
name? Will Gadara.
Unreasonable
with Unreasonable Hospitality. This is something
heard
you
that.
ultimately
Everybody-
realize.
You know what? I'm so glad you reminded me of that. If this clip goes and the restaurant, because remember that one time we did something with the haircut, $72 haircut,
Yeah.
and then that took off and people were calling
with your friend.
yeah, Drew,
Yeah.
But if anybody's in the restaurant business, and I'm just being honest with you, if you're the manager, or if you're a leader, or if you're a waiter that wants to get paid better, go read the damn book, Unreasonable Hospitality.
Yes.
Can you put this thing up? Everybody in the service business must read Unreasonable Hospitality by freaking Will Guidara.
Can I be honest to God with you, Pat? What am I listening to right now on my phone. Look at my phone right there. What am I listening to again for the second time?
Unreasonable
And
hospitality.
guess what I just heard? I swear to God, this is so weird. On the way in here, I'm listening to the audiobook.
Yeah.
I forgot which restaurant was. I think he was working there.
11 Madison or
it wasn't 11. I might be wrong, but I don't want to misstate it. They're eating at the restaurant, and this family that's visiting that's never seen snow, and it starts snowing outside. Guess what the owner does? Has somebody
went and
go
got
and
him
buy
some
sleds.
yellow snow?
No, they went and got sleds, and they went sledding. They drove like half an hour, and he took the whole family sledding.
He told that story. Yeah,
Can
it
you
was great.
imagine going, oh my God, honey, snow? And they took the
love
whole
that.
kids.
But
you'll never forget that memory.
I got to give Vinny a shout out.
Yes.
For, this guy, he practices unreal. Like, he made me my turkey plate over here. After the podcast.
Got a gift.
This guy, after every episode, hey, I got yogurt and fruit. You're very hospitable.
That's why he's
my
picking
mom
liver
made a
today,
little a cookie. He's got his whole thing. But I'll say this, because I was a server in college, right? And no matter what business you're in the people business. And if you want to practice unreasonable hospitality, you want, like, any server that's working their job and they're like, what's next? Get into sales. Because if you're a server, you have to deal with people. You have to take orders. You have to understand there's good days, there's bad days, there's winning, there's losing. There's so many different things that you could do. But at the end of the day, unreasonable hospitality.
Loving people and making people happy, bro. When you do something for somebody and give them something and they're shocked and they're like, it just makes me feel good. And I got that, obviously, being a Syrian, and my mom just
keep up the good. Shout out to your mom.
My mom,
Yeah.
Svetlana, Sweet Lana.
Svetlana,
That's your
we
mom's
love
name?
you. We miss you. Happy Thanksgiving, Mom. Wish you were here.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.